Get strong.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, and welcome to the Amateur Otaku podcast. I'm your host of tonight, Isak Wolf, and joining me today is Arkwinder, which joining us yet again. How's it going, man?
Everything is okay with me. You can't complain. I'm just happy that I finally got back to watching this show because I really like it.
It is an interesting experience, to say the least, but I do enjoy it.
Yeah, yeah. It's it is so. I think it's a very it's a show that I would describe it as it's just pretty epic in terms of like how like the fight scenes are done. I think probably like the main highlight.
Let us turn back the wheel for a second.
All right.
The subject of the night is the season of Windbreaker. That we did do a full season. No, not sorry.
We did
Do
the first half of season one.
We did a first impression of the season months back, and now we are here talking about the entire season. Sure, we are a bit late, but we did enjoy the show, and now we're the time to talk about it. So, with that said, you can return to the wheel that you were previously, because you are the one that is the most excited about this.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. So, like I was saying, I think like one of the best parts of the show is probably why a lot of people are interested in the show is because it's just the action scenes are just really well done. Like it's it's not as bombastic or like epic as say the more like fantasy or more or they have more fantasy based shonen but it's but it has a grounded grittiness to it where there's where you can really appreciate every hit. It's not like just like Deku, I'm gonna use 10,000 punches in 1 second. I'm just there's like a street fight essentially, kind of like a brawl, but it does maybe go a bit over the top. It definitely does do that, but it's still comparatively more grounded. There's a lot more punch into it than an other anime, at least in my opinion.
I don't know if I would call it grounded with how much
compared to. I said compared, not. It's still some bullshit in the season, but this is still compared to like other shonen, it's grounded ish.
Is it published by Shonen Jump though?
I think Windbreaker's a shonen manga. The Windbreaker manga, it's a okay. It's not a shonen manga. It's just, but my apologies. But my point still stands. The action's still pretty good.
They are. I argue that they are one projectile from being a Street Fighter adaptation. I mean, and Sakura being I don't know who I would have comparing to in terms of a character, since most of the main maybe Ken, but Ken without his rich his money and all that jazz.
I wouldn't even compare him to a Street Fighter character. I would just say Sakura has the kind of he's just the Hulk in a teenager boy's body, but in terms of just when he gets really upset, he just goes just can basically wipe out an entire army. You know what I mean? Maybe he's Akuma. That's a Street Fighter character. That's a Street Fighter character, right? Or is that a different?
Yeah, he is essentially in a real rival in a sense. I mean, Bison is the main antagonist, but I dare argue that Akuma is the rival, the evil counterpart to Ryu, so to speak.
True. But yeah, but yeah, like enough about that. Let's I guess talk about the I guess the actual plot threads of this the remainder of the season. So last we let off like soccer in the game, like they got challenged by a bunch of by a mother school, like another gang, and it's based and the being that at the Wolverine would send their best guys to go fight the best guys of the other guys team, and whoever wins ends well basically can take all the other students of the gang. So a bit of a high stakes fight, but like,
And the rival leader is a bit of a child.
he's a kind of a psycho in a way. But we'll talk about that. But yeah, but I would say I do like how like this I do like kind of like how in this if for like the first few battles like the bad guys like they can't they're like they're kind of not really all that like well equipped to fight like the fight Bofering guys. Like bear in mind like they got Sakura, Uemie, and like and the other and like some of the best fighters in their school, like at least for the first years. But the other guys they just have like aside from like the two heads, the other guys are comparatively are not even that competent at their they get taken out very easily. One of them couldn't even one of them couldn't when one of the bad guys try to fight Hayato, like he couldn't even land a single hit on him, and he just got humiliated in front of like his entire gang. So like I do kind of like that how like there's for even if like the eccentric characters of like the Buffering school, I do like how like there's still a lot more discipline in them compared to like say these guys who are just kind of like a random street, mostly just a bunch of random street punks who are just street fighters but not actual fighters. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do get what you mean, and at some point, at first, what I do like about this whole fight, it goes sort of like a full circle moment. Is they started this fight, the rival gang. I can't recall the name of them right now, because they quote unquote attacked their should I say soldiers?
Yeah.
Or
well it's like what
and
happened.
the leader is a psychopath.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like it's yeah, like yeah. So what happened with regards to how they got here is that like two of their of the asshole guys they went after like what against went after like one guy who was just like a Bofarine, and then they got absolutely bodied by Sakura. Then like they basically and so then they just went in to say, "Oh, you attacked our guys. Now we're going to attack you guys." And like it just kind of and that leads to like one of my favorite moments where like Togami like he's like the right hand man to Choji, like the guy with the sunglasses. He's like, "Hey, wait a minute, you guys actually were being the assholes in that situation." That he walks off the stage during like his fight with Sakura, then he just pummels those guys. Like, okay,
I was about to say that you would it comes off as they are just caring about the power and that kind of yes and fight, but at least one of them, when you hear why that fight started, yes, are you fucking kidding me? What the fuck did you do?
Yeah. Speaking of Togami, I do like his dynamic with Choji, where like it used to be like like their gang used to be a nice wholesome bunch. These for like street gang like standards, but now when Choji got to like the top, when he became like the number one boss of the gang, he just kind of just became like he just became bored. He just became empty. Like I reached number 1, but why do I not feel anything? So when he base when he so that's when he's like, okay, in order for people, I need to get stronger and stronger. I need to so I can be freed. So and I need to also push you guys to be stronger and stronger, so you guys can be free too. Though it results in him just absolutely just pummeling his his fellow crew, and like where Tokumi's like, hey, you can't do that, dude. It's like, well, it basically, you can't really do anything to stop Choji. So he said, okay, how I'll be like the bad guy here, so you can still be like kind of like still be have like a good relationship with the rest of the gang. And that kind of then recontextualizes his whole character up to that point where he's just being an asshole just to help his friend out. But but he's still like, there's still some things where he's like that he has to basically just break the character and say, no, I can't. This is just too far, even with what I'm trying to be. And and I also do like when he's like kind of like when he's fighting Sakura, he's just having that internal like conflict where it's like, okay, like, no, I should have done something when Choji beat the crap out of our guys. I should have done something. So like, I can do like his character work where he's like, because of his battling with Sakura and Bofarine, he's kind of changed. He's kind of like reevaluating what he's been doing this past while. And I do like I do like Choji's battle with Umie, where basically, despite Choji just absolutely like beating the crap out of him, despite just throwing everything at him, he's not doing anything to Umie. He's just like, he's just kind of like, he's just taking it like a champ, and then like eventually Choji just gets bodied in the end, and that just knocks the sense back into him to just say, oh, I am being kind of an asshole here. It's a bit
You
more.
know what this? You know what? Now that you talk about it, do you know what could easily explain this show in quick comparison?
What's that?
This is if Tokyo Ghoul and Fairy Tail had a love child without any superpowers. If you really think about it, because Sakura somewhat being nuts and trying to show off that he is strong against everyone, but he's afraid to let people in comparison, whereas the other one is previous Fairy Tail members that actually is instead of just fuck it, let's fuck it, those shitheads up, they actually managed to talk people through.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't say that as a negative. Your comment made me realize that. I dare argue.
Yeah. It's a comparison. It's just kind of just comparing how Windbreaker does like its character work with Fairy Tail. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes, I mean, Fairy Tail tried to talk. They tried to talk with some of the villains, and yes, why are you doing this? Yada yada yada. The fight with Laxtress at the original from the start, for example, is a prime example of that.
Yeah. I get what you mean. But anyway, anyway, so yeah, Wolverine just sweeps the other guys, and and I do like how like despite when after that, it's like, okay, I get Choji's like, okay, we lost, you can have all our guys, but Umamiye is like, I don't want, I don't want you guys. This is just because this was just because we had to battle it out. Like, I don't really want your gang. So they was like, yay, we still have our gang. Then like afterwards, the Wolverine guys invite Choji and Togami to basically have a nice lunch, just to patch things up, and like, oh, that's nice. And now like their friendship, like Choji and Togami's friendship, they have some stuff to work through. But I'm like, oh, they're going to make the steps now to start repairing their friendship. Like, ah, that was sweet. That
It's
was
to some extent, I would argue that instead of him taking over, he saw the potential of being allies with them instead.
yeah, yeah. Like, I mean, yeah. Like if when you see when you get absolutely bodies like a complete sweep of all your guys, but then the other team's like, yeah, we're nah, man, we're even now. I think you'll be like, hey, and then they invite you guys later to lunch and just patch any holes, and they were like, hey, maybe they seem like good guys. Let's maybe we can work together with them one day, or just maybe just meet again or have fun or just battle for the hell of it. That's so
Exactly,
yeah,
exactly. Which is where the whole why not be allies instead?
yeah, 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 yeah,
Which is honestly, it benefits them both.
yeah. I mean
And
that could be like a thing down the line. Maybe like there's like a bigger asshole gang that's threatening the other guys. So like say, okay, we have to work together. Which that's that kind of that's there's a kind of an asshole gang at the end of the season, but we'll get to that in a moment.
yeah, and but it's how should and also I have to mention Umiya myself because it's so fucking funny with him because they are building him up to be this major fucking uh, badass, and sure he can fight and all that, but the first thing you see with him being the what he's worried about is his plants,
Yeah. Oh
which
yeah,
is
like
just so what is it? What is it? What are you calling that?
I
Um,
I call it just a guy, a simple guy who's he's like
I,
someone who has
I
he's
was
the
more
nice guy.
thinking I was thinking more in the story trope. There is a wording for
I think
reverse expectation or something like that.
I there's there's that plus he's also like I would say he's one of those characters like that beware of the nice ones because no he's a pretty
Yeah,
nice guy. He's a sweet dude. He's he wants the best for his games, but if you piss him off, well, you better get packing, my friend.
yeah, exactly, exactly, and that's why it makes him so compelling. And just explains why he became the leader. Because if you fuck with a crew, he fuck them up, and if but well, he'd rather have being friends with you.
Yeah, yeah. He's just a chill guy. He doesn't really he just doesn't want to war. He doesn't really want just fighting. I mean, he does, but he doesn't want the sense of just warfare. He just he just wants to just have fun. Just have make sure everyone's okay. These these are respectable gentlemen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what makes a good leader in my book.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, like
Or what do you,
hmm?
or what do you think?
What I think, well, I think he is like a pretty. I do like him. I think he's like definitely like one of the best characters in the season of the series so far. Like I know like every time he's on stream, and I'm either gonna get him just being really wholesome or him just being really badass. His battle against Choji is one, but like I like his kind of his like a step brother thing with Kotaha. It's like oh that's my little sister. I'm like that's that's adorable. That's funny. Or him
Yeah,
just him just like just being like a chill dude. I'm like he I would like to have like a nice lunch with him and say oh hey let's just talk shit. Like, he seems like a chill dude.
yeah, and that's the best kind of like I said, best type of leaders.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, so uh, okay, so let's now move on to I guess the other plot developments. So like in the last few episodes of the season, like we have like like one of my one of my favorite moments is when so like like Sakura and his gang joined by by one of the new characters, Taiga, the guy with the headband, guy who says, "Oh,
Yeah,
what's your virtue?" I like this guy too. Like he's fun too. Like I like how no one in the class wants to spend time with him. Because he's like, oh, this guy's like a buffoon right here. But I get he's with Sakura because and like his friends because Sakura's super strong and all that. So I want to hang out with him. And it does lead to like it'll lead to some fun moments where he's just just being ultra macho and all that, and I like that. But I also do like when Sakura in the game, when they head out just get some lunch, they meet another character who was like, I won't. It's like he has the same problem as me, like Mitsuki. He's on his phone too much. I'm like, that's bro, that's literally me right there. I also use my phone to an extended amount of time that I probably should not do. But like like I like it I like him too. But he's like also another chill out dude. But one thing but I also like about this is like one of my favorite parts of episode 11 where basically the gang is Mitsuki is that also goes to the same restaurant as the rest of the gang, and they see he has this girl with him. It's like, and he's like, oh hey, this guy, oh he has a date. But when I was watching it, the girl seemed very uncomfortable, so I'm like, okay, something's up with this. This is not a date. This is something's off here. I'm like, okay, it turns out this guy is going to be some kind of weird, creepy guy. But then it turns out he was actually defending the girl from a bunch of punks who wanted to do some probably not very nice things to her. So then Mitsuki and the rest of the gang just absolutely just pummels those guys in a pretty awesome battle. And oh yes, my man not only just chill but a complete gentleman and lad too. I love these characters, man.
yeah. What I also realize, and which is kind of funny. Do we know if no? What is kind of funny is that this is a really funny way of. I wonder if this is someone that writing this as a therapeutic session. If I'm being completely honest, because yes, now I might overthinking this because this is a prime example of someone. I mean, imagine if you're the author and you have boiling emotions going through yourself, but you want to talk it through with someone, but still are open to fuck someone up if they are daring to hurt someone that close to you.
Yeah,
I mean, but just because you're emotional doesn't mean you're weak.
yeah,
Maybe I'm overthinking it, but you get the idea.
yeah. With the cast, there's very much of characters. They're characters who are very hyper. They're very very basically oh, I'm very loud. And then you have characters like Mitsuki, who's very quiet, very low key. He's just kind of he's it's I guess from my understanding that the show is showing that you can't be strong from it doesn't matter who you are, you can just be strong, whether you're quiet or you're loud, whether whether you're social or not. It's it's really just up to you. It's not your personality, just if it's just you who wants to be strong, not necessarily if you have the personality of a tough guy, just if you actually are a tough guy. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's also a major thing that which is which is also why I thought about it, because it's kind of relatable that you just want to punish assholes in the face, and it's more relatable of doing that. And well, insert fantasy genre here.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
if you
It's
ask me.
it is like they're like the show just is pretty good when like when it's just basically it has like say a guy like Sakura who you know like you said he's a bit of a male tsundere, but he's like he just wants to do like he has like a good heart. So when he beats up like a genuine asshole who's just harassing like a woman for just because reasons, like it feels nice to see him just pummel the shit out of that guy and his gang. You know, so it's like the show is pretty good at basically making hateable characters, but then and then having like the main good guys just beat the crap out of them. Like I it's definitely like one of its best aspects. It,
Exactly, exactly. Which is why I do enjoy the show. And
yeah,
is it confirmed yet that it will get a second
yeah,
season or?
yeah. It has yeah. There's a season 2 coming. Like it's coming up next year.
Oh,
It's I
rather
know.
quickly then, and not just like Devil is a part-timer 13 years later.
Well, this is like let's see. Let's see. The manga is like it came out like in 2021. It's been going on ever since then. So they have like they don't have to worry. They definitely do not have to worry about running out of like material. They can just keep just going and going and going. But not like, and not in the sense of just basically new episodes every single week. More like they have like the appropriate amount of time to like for per year to make a short season without saying have to risking like say catching up the manga like at a faster pace.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Mm.
And I forgot to mention that if you are interested in this show, or you want to pick up the manga, for some reason, and I did this when I was looking it up. It is spelled Wind, blank space, Breaker, but there is also I don't know if it's a manga or another manga, but that's also called Windbreaker, but it's spelled all together.
Hmm.
So you can easily find the other one depending on how you spell it.
Yeah. 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 All right. All right. All right. Thanks for letting me know that. Might might give this a read once I have the chance. Uh, yeah. But maybe after I finally read that File My Hero arc, maybe I'll just need a palate cleansing.
You certainly did not like that one, Dan.
I I don't like that one final arc and that other war arc. The rest of the anime I like. It's like it's like how people like people like say they like Game of Thrones overall, but like the final season just ruined it. You you know what I mean? That's my
I
relationship with
haven't seen it. I
you,
haven't seen Game of
yeah,
Thrones.
but you know what I mean. Like there's people who like who watch Game of Thrones and they loved it, but then that last season just sank the series for them. Like that's that's me. That's my relationship with the manga.
Gotcha.
But that's a different story for another day. Maybe in the manga rankings arcs, well, maybe I'll bring that up again. But for now, let me just mention some more points about Windbreaker before we close up stuff. Okay, I do also like in like the second half of the season, like we do have like F Sakura just kind of like he's starting to shed a bit more of his I guess the shell he put himself in. He's basically nominated to be like the I think was like I think it was like the captain, right? The captain of the first years. Like he's kind of
Yes.
like yeah. So yeah, he's like doing that, and he's just kind and he's basically like yeah, it's like in their second year. It's like, oh, hey, I go, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? He's like, he's like, well, because people need me to do this. And he's like, Sakura was like, because kind of like, is very introspective. He's reflecting on his like, when his goals, when he's like, oh, okay, I came here to be like the number one guy at the school. I'm going to be top tier. I'm going to be like the best. But then like now, as he's being with people who understand him, who are very who like are who try to be warm to him, and like I with one of my favorite moments when Yehei he said, "Hey, come on, man! Like buddies here." Like, it's a very wholesome moment. The whole gang's there, but then Sakura being like Sakura, he's like, "Oh, you just couldn't. You still can't process it." But he's like, you can tell that he's slowly adjusting to it. He's slowly just making those steps towards like the to being like they to being more open to other people. So
Which
like I do,
is
it's baby steps, man, baby steps.
yeah, which is why I wonder if this is sort of like a therapy story for the manga kind question, because it's someone that has suppressed feelings meets people that welcome him with open arms, and he starts to open up. You
Yeah,
get what I mean?
yeah, I get what you mean. Like I, like I do like mention this to like I did mention this to you like in our chats, but I do like how like one of my favorite jokes is just basically how like Sakura and the gang say, okay, let's exchange our phone numbers just so we can talk, and like it's like Sakura's like, well, wait, what? He's like, okay, fine, I'll do it. Then like, like someone just opens his phone and the under his contacts is the weather. Like he put the weather as his contacts. I'm like, um, like
He gets he gets nicknames, but no one really calls him by his real name.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Eh, I, yeah, I do appreciate also like I do like how he's like I think someone just mentions it to him and say, hey, do you since you're the captain now, you kind of have to learn everyone's name now, and so now he's just kind of like trying to learn now everyone's name. Like he's trying now. He's like baby steps, baby steps, baby steps.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And honestly, I will probably start reading this myself somehow.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna see where I can find it.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm
Yeah.
not. Maybe I not starting collecting it yet, because I collect so many manga right now, and there's
Yeah.
only so much stuff you can have.
Yeah. Like, if worst comes to worst, you can maybe try just buying the manga. Like I'm just looking at the this on Amazon, just looking at the if I can just buy the stuff. But that's Future Us's problem. Also, like before before we move on, I move on to like the last point I want to make with regards to like the setup for the next season. I do like how like one of my favorite jokes is just basically like after like Sakura exchanges his phone numbers, he goes to Kotoha's cafe. He drops his phone. Then and she sees like, oh, he's putting people's contacts in his phone. It's like then she just puts her contact into his phone. I'm like, man, my main man Sakura. He's like he's like he's the type of character where he's like, pretty sure at the start he's like, he gets upset when a girl gives him his number, but at the same time, this is like he doesn't react extremely negatively like he would have done at the start of the season. So I just call that peak character development right there. He's my man is evolving. My man's evolving.
Exactly, and he has. I was gonna jokingly say that to an extent he has massive wrists also.
he I mean I do like I mean there's nothing that's to say well he's working on it. I think probably maybe like down maybe in a few years, maybe when he's third year, maybe when he's he has finally moved past his Sundere arc. Maybe he will be like the ultimate ladies man. But that's years down the line. Let's
Yeah,
instead let's instead just focus on like the last bit of the season where like Sakura and the gang like they see like one of their classmates is like outside like a restaurant in a little corner, like in a little alleyway. They see like one of their classmates got absolutely beaten, and like they're like, "Well, what happened?" Like he said, "Oh, well, I was attacked by like a big dog. It was like a size of a bear." Tiger's like, oh, really? You fought like a grizzly bear, man? And like no one's like, no, man, we don't believe you, man. No, come on. But then like it's revealed that the student and another one of his friends, like both of them had another friend where like they used to be really close. This third friend, like he was a nice sweet guy, but then he's now gotten involved with some bad people. Like the name's slipping me, but I'm going to call these guys the cult gang because they have these they have like robes they cover themselves like with very like kind of like very like, kind of like I would say like stuff that would probably make Jim Jones proud, and like and then like and these guys are just very small. I'm like, okay, these guys are just a cult. And they've just basically taken this one guy and they're just doing very horrible things to them. So like, so when Sakura was talking to like one of the friends, he's like, she tells him what happens, and then like he said, okay, we'll help out, and then like then he goes to like get the guy in the school, say, oh hey man, like we're all in this together, so let's go get your friend back. So then the whole of the first years comes to back up Sakura, and then they're about to march out to go save this one guy from the cult gang. So I was like, yeah, that was epic. That was pretty cool. That was like that was pretty hyped when I watched it for the first time.
So, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yeah.
So, but if you have I know that you weren't part of our favorite of the seasonal wedge kind of deal, but would you say that this is your favorite or one of your favorite of the previous season?
Well, I didn't watch a lot of anime this past few months since, well, I was pretty busy with other things. Though, I will say, if hypothetically, but I did watch a lot of anime. I don't know if I would say this is like my top favorite, but I would probably say it's still like a pretty fun ride. It's like a show. It's like how people have like comfort shows. That I guess Windbreaker is my comfort show in a way. Because it just I don't know. I just really appreciate the show for it. It's a show that when I watch clips of it, it always just cheers me up in a way.
We all need to have the shows like that from time to time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But do you have anything else to say before we go?
No, not really. Is there anything that you want to say?
Not that I can think of more than looking forward to season 2.
Yeah, and I look forward to trying to find the manga so I can read it.
And crossing my finger that you find it and make the odds be with you.
Thank you, my friend.
Now that I think about it, I'm surprised that Hunger Games never got an animated spin-off, but I digress. That's another topic for another day.
Future podcast episode, like you're teasing the next episode of Amateur Otaku, man. Let's go.
Nah, I don't. Well, we have the future shall see. But Arkwinder, where can people find you?
You can find me on my Twitter at Nate the VA. If you want to watch my videos, my YouTube is Arkwinder. And like I make I've made a few reviews. I have made my Hero Work video, Fire Force Season 1, Rent a Girlfriend, Chainsaw Man, 100 Girlfriends. And now for my next videos, it's either it's kind of like 50-50 at this point. It's either going to be a review of Windbreaker or my review of the final arc of My Hero Academia, which I have been putting off because I just don't want to reread that shit again. But um, I think if you guys are interested in that, look forward to that. But I also make YouTube shorts. As I've joked towards in my comment community centers, my community tab. Maybe I become a PokeTuber later if my hero breaks me, but that's a tale for a different time. I make my weekly shorts, so if you want more of me, just go watch my shorts.
If you becomes a PokeTuber, you have to cover the game somehow. It's the law.
I mean, I would have to basically. Let's see. The only Pokemon games that I think have a good enough have like enough story material. Never mind a good story, just enough story material would probably be any games after Gen 3 because the other Gen because Gen 1, 2, 3 like lore aside or anything like that, like stories are simple-ish in a way. Like where Gen 4, Gen 5, it kind of goes off the rails a bit when Pokemon started to put more like of an epic scale to their games. Like I'm just saying that there's no like the fact that God is a Pokemon in Gen 4, that tells you plenty. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
Yeah.
And well, you can find me at here the Amateur Otaku Pod, my writing at the Wolf Rights, and I'm still working on my personal Let's Play project, which I at this point don't know when it's coming out, but I'm working on it. That being said, having awesome everyone.
Take care, everyone.
Peace.
Peace.